If you're a dude in your 40s or beyond that has at some point thought, is this it? I really feel like I need to be further ahead. This is not where I thought I'd be. Know this, you're not alone, and this video is for you. So I want to give you one little mindset shift, one little perspective change that can really alleviate a lot of that pressure. Maybe you've built a career, raised a family, you've done everything right, you've been even successful, maybe even hyper successful by all standard measures, and yet there's this quiet sense that something's missing, that you're behind, that you're not as far ahead as you thought you would be. It reminds me of that song by Dax, To Be a Man. Darius Rucker sings the words, "You may find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home." I've been there. That feeling, it's heavy. It eats at your confidence. In this video, I want to give you one little mindset shift, one little perspective change that can really alleviate a lot of that pressure. It's about learning to stop measuring success by what we haven't done and instead be able to reflect and look at how far we've come. But here's the shift that I want to give you today. It's from a concept called the gap and the gain by Sullivan. Most of us live our lives in the gap. We're measuring progress against some version of where we think we should be. That ideal is always ahead of us, so it doesn't matter what we do, we always fall short. But when we shift into living in the gain, as Dan puts it, we measure our progress on how far we've come. We stop chasing some perfect ideal notion of where we think we should be, and we start to appreciate how far we've come. We stop chasing perfection and we start acknowledging growth. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about lowering the bar, I'm not talking about setting the standard so low that all you gotta do is get out of bed in the morning and you're good. It's about being honest with the road you've already walked, how far you've already come. Because when we do that, we build momentum, self-respect, and clarity of purpose. It's an incredibly powerful mindset shift, and one that I need to remind myself every single day. This concept has also really shifted my relationship with my kids. I remember getting incredibly frustrated with my 22-year-old son because he wasn't doing the things. He wasn't where I thought he was supposed to be. I was measuring him against some ideal version of who I wanted him to be. I was living in the gap for my son rather than measuring where he was today versus where he came from, because his growth had been incredible, but all I saw was this untapped potential. And it wasn't fair to him, and it really strained our relationship. It was a terrible way of looking at it. Harnessing this gap and gain concept and how I look at my kids has also been a real eye-opener for me. It's a perspective that I use myself, and it has changed everything for me. That feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be doesn't just show up for you. I've talked to a lot of dudes in their 40s, 50s, and beyond who all feel the same thing. No matter what they've accomplished, no matter how successful they are, that little voice creeps in. You should be further ahead. You should have more money. You should have a better relationship. You should be stronger. You should be fitter. You should have figured it out by now. It's exhausting and it's a fucking lie. The problem is we're measuring against some moving target. No matter how far we've come, there's always somewhere else to get to. It's like we're on this hedonic treadmill. Over and over and over again, we're moving, but we're not actually getting anywhere. We're measuring our life against some ideal future that, frankly, we're never going to hit. I remember hitting 50 and thinking, this isn't the life that I pictured. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. I mean, I'd built a successful business, I'd been through a divorce, I lost the love of my life, and even with all the things that I had actually accomplished, there was still this nagging voice saying, you're not where you're supposed to be. That voice is fucking brutal. It doesn't care about context. All it cares about is the gap between where you are and some made-up future version of who it thinks you should be. So how do we do that? How do we put this concept into practice? I'm going to give you 3 tangible strategies that you can use today. Track daily gains. Each night before you go to bed, jot down 3 ways you made progress today. They don't have to be huge. Maybe you didn't hit snooze this morning. Maybe you had a difficult conversation. Maybe you showed up when it would have been easier just not to. Start tracking those gains daily and it becomes a practice of changing the way we look at things on a regular basis. It becomes habitual. Number 2, redefine success on your terms. If you're still chasing that version of success that you set in your 20s, it's no wonder that you feel like you're a little bit behind. It's about redefining what you put on that scorecard. Maybe it's peace of mind. Maybe it's showing up for your kids wholly and fully. Maybe it's finally getting honest with what you really want. Maybe that's what success looks like. Write it down, make it yours. Number 3, look back with compassion. This is something that comes up all the time when I talk to guys. We're brutal on ourselves. Look back with self-compassion. Pick a version of yourself from 5 or 10 years ago. Think about what that guy was going through. If he could see you today, what would he think? I guarantee you he'd be very proud of some of the things that you've completely forgotten to give yourself credit for. Look, man, you're not behind. You're just measuring the wrong things. That's it. Stop living in the gap, start living in the game. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a note in the comments. Let me know one thing that you are proud of today. Don't forget to hit subscribe because we got a lot more conversations that'll help you cut through the noise, reconnect to self, reconnect to others, and reconnect to what really matters in this life. All right, my friend, as always, stay curious, stay connected, take care.